What's going on, guys? So we have an S20 Ultra here that has no cracks front or back, but the LCD is definitely broken on it. So what we did was we got a service pack, or S20 Ultra. We're gonna swap it out, and we're gonna start by removing the back. So what we're gonna want to do is add some heat to this back so that we can remove the adhesive and pull it off without damaging it. So what we're gonna want to do is start by trying to pry around the edge here. I have this thing called magic glass tool. It's actually just a thin piece of metal, like really thin. So what we're gonna want to do is start by getting it in there just a little bit, not going too deep with it because you don't want to damage anything. Once you get it started, you can kind of come in and stick your plastic in there. Roll it around. So we got this side freed up. I feel like the top might be free now. That bottom is free. So what we'll do is we'll put the back glass off to one side. Remember, never touch any of those cameras, because if you do, you will permanently damage them and you'll have to replace the camera itself to fix it. Let's start by taking off this metal plate right here that has the wireless charger. Pop a couple of these screws out. These screws should all be the same, so it shouldn't matter if you put them in a pile or not. Now the bottom of this charger is adhered, so you're gonna want to take good care and pick up on the edges, just the adhesive. Make sure you don't, whatever you use to like get under there, you could use this plastic piece. You know, whatever you use to get under, just make sure you don't go too far under. You're gonna want to pop this connector off. So there's one more screw here. Once you flip it up, you have that hidden screw. And now it should come off. There it goes. Put that off to the side. Now what we're going to want to do is isolate this battery, so we'll go in here and pop the battery connector off, and then we're going to just come in, pop off that 5G antenna cable, pop off the power button cable, these bottom flex cables, the other antenna cable, and we should be good to start taking out some screws again. All right, now we'll come back up here, get this plastic piece to get off. what I never did is I never pulled the SIM card out on this phone. It is still on the top. I should have this black plastic piece freed up now. Let's see. Still one screw. I didn't see it. A little sneaker. Sneaking under there. All right, looking good. Now we're gonna work on these 5G antennas. They're glued in. All right, so I'm gonna leave that antenna in there until we get this motherboard out because I don't want to damage the cable. I actually even tried to pick it up and I couldn't get it out. So unscrew the cameras. And what we're gonna try to do now is actually I forgot to pull off this front camera. What we're gonna want to do now is try to remove this motherboard. Looks like I did get everything off of it. Just taking a quick glance at it. Sometimes they'll come out. Sometimes we have to take them out. Sorry about that, I had a phone call. So, let's see, we're trying to get the motherboard out, and I think what I'm gonna do is take this plastic, stick it in the SIM slot here, and kind of see if it'll push it up. I don't wanna go too hard with it. I know it'll pop out, it's just, there it goes. Make sure everything's out of the way. I don't want to accidentally tug anything. All right. So we'll put that off to the side. Be very careful with it. Now we're back here, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to pull this dock out the bottom. All right, so we take out, after we take out these 3 screws on the charging port, put them off to the side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop off these flex connectors. I probably should have did that to begin with. Put them off to the side. And this is going to be a little tricky. You kind of have to put a little pressure. There it goes. So let's take our new part, and it looks like it has the ear speaker in. We need to switch over the front camera, the battery, the buttons stay, the vibrator goes too. So we need to switch the front camera and the vibrator. Pop that out. Now the front camera is tricky. The front camera, they actually glue it in. How I like to get them out is I use a metal dental tool, and I come in and I actually remove the glue around the sides here to get it out. Never putting the metal tool on the actual camera itself, because then you're taking a chance of damaging the camera, and that's the last thing you want to do. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is take this metal dental tool, not pry on the camera whatsoever, and pick out the glue that's in there. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's a safe way to do it. So just take your time. It's like a hot glue, but it's like way stronger than a hot glue. As you can see, as I'm pulling up the rest of it, the camera started tilting. So the camera should just basically pop right out. Yeah, there you go. Set that off to the side. Don't touch the front. And now what we're going to try to do is remove the battery. We'll take the new one here. Let's put that camera in there so we don't get it messed up or dirty. We can take the vibrate piece and pop it right back in. If you didn't damage the adhesive, which I didn't, you can just reuse it. If you did damage the adhesive, you'll have to put a little bit of cell phone tape on there. Push that in. Alright. I'm also going to set this motherboard in. Before we get the cables all in the way, and then it makes it even harder. So we get that in. We'll put our 2 screws in here on this side to hold the board and the cameras in. You can hook up your one connector right now. All right. So now we could put this one in, but then we're gonna have to fight for the battery. So what we'll do is put this off to the side. And what I try to do is get in here with a couple of these plastic tools and try to wedge them up underneath there. Sometimes they'll pull out. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes you might have to take a little bit of alcohol. This is like rubbing alcohol, a little bit down in there. See how much comes out. All right, squeeze it, I can get a bunch out. There it goes. So we'll look these over, and I believe we have everything out except for that antenna. Put the battery off to one side. Let's get that antenna out of there. We'll use the dental tool again to just pick up on it. Snap it back in there. We can connect that. Now we're going to take our battery. Since our adhesive is still pretty good, I'm not even going to mess with it. Put that. Make this one connection connect. Sorry if I pulled it off the view here. It happens. Got that in there. Plug this in. The one that says sub obviously is the bottom one. Pretty good. I like to try to push the bottom in. Actually, I forgot to pull the screws out. Let me pull them out real quick. So we get those connected. We'll connect this other 5G antenna, still leaving that one disconnected. We're gonna come back and connect our front camera back in. And then this little piece was around here. Not really sure what it's for. Must have something to do with the back. All right, so we got that in. Everything's connected. The only thing that isn't connected is the battery at this point. So let's connect that battery. Connect that back. Flip it up. Get that hidden one first. Put it back. That one was connected. Boom. It's all right. Everything's connected. Everything's working. What I'm going to do is try to just rest this back on for now. And let's give it a spin. Nothing. All right, so we're gonna let it charge for a little bit before we can test it. So I'll be right back. All right, so after looking at this adhesive, it's not actually any good, so we're gonna have to replace it. All right, so once you have the glue removed, or if it's a new one and it didn't come with glue, you're gonna have to put new adhesive on there. So I have some cell phone tape here. This one's just a little bit more narrow. And also, I'm going to put a little adhesive on the corners to try to help make it a little more water resistant. Because anytime you do one of these backs like this and you have to change it out, you got to realize that it's not going to be waterproof anymore, or water resistant is the word we're looking for. So we put that tape down. Make sure if you're just changing the back, you got to make sure that all this edge is super clean, to where like you can rub your finger on it and not have to worry about glass or anything. And then you're gonna want to pull off your tape. If it came with pre-installed, sometimes the pre-installed isn't that good, so you might even want to add a little bit extra. And then since I'm using not the right one, I'm going to put a little dab of this adhesive in the corners, and it'll spread it out, and it should take up the difference. So put that on there. So there's with it all cleaned up. It looks good. So if this video helped you, please like and subscribe, and until next time, later.